cultivar known as Joseph's Rock, and you've got a double bubble on this one because it goes bright red leaves, it has compound leaves, bright red in the autumn, and it also has bright yellow fruits. An absolutely wonderful plant. In the spring it'll have white flower, good foliage, tall, very upright, good for a small garden. Sorbus Joseph's Rock.
That was wonderful. Just over there everyone's going, oh, they're taking notes. Okay, and this is coming. Thank you very much for handing these questions in for Chris, by the way. Question number 2, why do trees need to be planted in the winter?
That's a good question, actually. It's very simple. What you want your plant to do when it first goes is you want it to produce roots. If you put it in the spring and the summer, well, spring's probably the limit, but in the summer, the plant is photosynthesizing, it's respiring, it's doing a lot of other stuff, which means its chances of survival are decreased. When you move a tree, you lose 90% of its root hair. So the plant will struggle to take up water when it's first moved. So if you plant it in the autumn, the tree will concentrate on root production through the winter, give it heavy mulch, make sure it gets drink and water in the first season, greater the chance of survival.
I think we get lots of water here. Can we just rely on the rain, or should we carry on watering?
It's very important you carry on watering. Remember, if I said that if you lose 90% of the root hair, the plant is going to be very stressed in its first season. Little tip maybe is to get an overflow pipe from a washing machine and put that in the planting pit with the top of it sticking out, so when you water, you're watering directly to the root ball. The plant will appreciate every drop you give it.
Thank you, great tips here. Okay, question number 3. What should I plant in my veg patch now?
You've got a number of things. I think you've got to use spring cabbage, your winter cabbage, your Missouri, things like the Chinese herb leaves. You can put broad beans in. There's lots going on at the moment. You can put come again lettuce. You can put rocket, that'll grow. You'll get a crop in 2 weeks flat with rocket. For those of you who are not sure about gardening, that's a good one to start on. Lovely in the sandwiches as well.
Thank you. Question 4. When is the best time to plant spring bulbs?
This is now, basically between now, the end of September. So I will prefer to plant them early October. Any time between now and the end of November. And when you plant them, also always make sure, say if it's a tulip bulb, you plant them a third of the size of the tulip, a third downwards. So if the bulb's that big, 3 times in depth it goes down. They do have contractible roots, so they're quite clever. So if you do plant them too shallow, they'll actually pull themselves into position. So who said plants don't move?
Now this is good. We have a very small garden and we'd love to plant some more trees. So which tree is best for a small garden?
Well, there's a number of them. Again, any sorbus, any mountain ash, don't go for one called area, one called orchiperia, any sorbus cultivar. A birch tree is pretty good in a small garden. And remember that if you want, there's one important thing with small gardens is you can prune off what I call crown lift. So if the plant's quite bushy at the base, you can very carefully take the bottom branches off to give it a higher crown. When you're doing that, I want you to remember one thing. There's a thing called compartmentalisation, or code it. So when you look at the branch, the crux of the branch, you'll see a thin line of raised cells. That's the cambium. Always cut to the right of the cambium. Then what trees do is they seal. They don't heal, they seal, and that stops disease getting in. So you can crown lift. Another great group of plants is malus. The apples. There's one called golden hornet. Stays quite small, has big lovely yellow fruits. So malice, sorbus, even small cherries, and of course you've got your Japanese aces. Plenty to choose from.
They sound like characters out of Star Wars, but yes. How can I deter cats in our garden? Not only are we allergic, but they dig everything up.
Right, some people who love cat lovers are going to like this. Just act like a complete loony and shout at them. That's the only way you can get rid of them. No, they don't. Well, more pistols, mate, but you just got to act. I've got nothing against cats. No cats were hurt in the making of this advice. But I have a real problem. No, I can't do that. Yeah, my gun! just look threatening and menacing and like you've quite slightly lost the plot and run up the garden at them and just hope they go away after that. I'm not sure how effective this is. We get all this other stuff like tiger poo and all it. None of it. Just threaten them with potential violence. Not real violence, potential violence.
Yeah, apologies to all you cat lovers out there. Why should I use peat-free compost?
Well, this is an environmental choice. There's a big debate about this in horticulture because a lot of the people who grow commercially understand that peat is very good to grow in because young plants, you can liquid feed and you can pump feed through and get a plant going solid. When it comes to domestic, I also have the same attitude with pesticides. There's no reason we need to be using peat. And it is affecting, I mean, you can only dig up so much peat. It takes 1 million years to form. So like everything else, like a rainforest, we can't just keep dipping into it all the time. We need to think of alternatives.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, the fabulous Chris Collins. Now, just to tell you, it's not long till we're all doing the barefoot challenge. It's 100 meters. We're all going to take part. Everybody that can take part, please take part. I'm going to get